All right, guys, what's going on? It is Ace here. Did this about 2 months ago when Goku Black initially released, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to just go over the top 5 best teams in the game, at least in my opinion, um, because I think the meta is massively different, even than when the first anniversary started here. It's definitely shaped and changed a lot since then. Um, Most notably due to the two characters Goku Black and Red transforming Z Broly, getting their unique equips. I was kind of hoping Goku and Bardock would shake the meta just a little bit. Maybe we didn't see as many Reds so freely anymore. Even with Xeno Goku Black running around, they're still pretty free. They're just so insane. But yeah, I thought it'd be pretty fun to just go over the top 5 best teams again. Same premise. Not all characters are going to be taken at a 14-star basis. However, when I do refer to these characters that aren't 14-starred, I am going to be saying, in a sense, if they could do this at 5, 10-star, whatever star they are, imagine them at 14-star. Imagine them fully maxed out, fully arts boosted. This will be taking into account the team's best situations, the team performing at its best, at its peak, going peak to peak, what team is going to be the best. Obviously, I think that's pretty put in place, right? We wouldn't take a team like going against a hard counter. um, so yeah, we'll be doing that. And yeah, I just really wanted to do this again. Before we get into this, I am going to say I think any team from 5 to 3 could probably just be changed out in any order, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. I will kind of give a spoiler. Most of the teams are going to have the same characters. And in that case, a different team in my eyes is distinguished by a team that plays differently. Not necessarily by what characters are on the team. So before this, I don't know if I said it, but I was thinking it. One character being slotted in on a team doesn't inherently change the team. However, if it changes the team's play style, how you then go and use that team, I will count it as a different team. So just be cautious of that. That's where I'm going with these top 5 best teams in the game here. Let's go ahead and just hop straight into number 5. All right, coming in at your 5th best team in the game. This team definitely took quite a hit. This is going to be double Goku Blacks with Broly in the lead. Yeah, this team took a substantial hit when Z Broly got his unique equip. I think the biggest factor about this team, what made it so scary, was this guy right here. Transforming Goku Black. I didn't do a showcase on him, unfortunately. I did record it. I may post it, I may not. But yeah, this guy was ridiculous. The main thing about this character that I think everyone hated was... where is it? I actually think it's when he transforms. It's when he enters the battlefield. Here. When he enters the battlefield, he reduces impact damage, goes neutral for damage sustained, and then reduces power on special move, ultimate, and awakened arts. Mind you, if you swap in on an ultimate or awakened arts, thanks to Broly or the Goku Black, the enemy's buff effects are already cancelled. They're already cancelled, so he's going in when a character has cancelled buff effects, reducing more power, and going neutral. And he's like the bulkiest character in the game. Aside from Broly, I'd say. You could probably argue he has more bulk than Broly. But yeah, and then Rose here, this one, the blue Rose, he is probably... well, I guess was probably the safest character you could use to just combo on Broly, because their gauges kind of activate when you want them to activate at the same time, right? Broly will fill his gauge usually when this Rose gets that type neutral, uncancelable, 100% damage inflicted blue card. And if you activate that against Broly, his buffs aren't going to be canceled. So that will still hit very hard. Now, there is a stipulation with that. If you were going against another yellow Goku Black, if he's transformed, he will cancel those buffs on blue while not defeated. So he can do it from standby. This might not actually be while on transformation, actually. Yeah, I don't think it is. So just any time. So you would still get your buffs canceled. But after those, every time Blue Rose would enter the battlefield, he can guarantee draw a blue, and he can just hit Broly with it, and it would do tons and tons of damage. The main weakness of this team, obviously speaking now, when this team was around and like a no red Broly around, nothing like that, this was probably like the second best team in the game, at least in my opinion. Probably second or third, maybe. The main weakness of this team now is Red Broly does not care about any of these guys. Red Broly is a monster. He's a demon. Obviously, you have your auto counters. Obviously, you have Blue Rose. But that's not enough. Broly just does so much damage. Even 2 Blue Roses, Broly just does so much damage. And it's ridiculous. And another thing is obviously the best character in the game, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta 2. You hit Goku Black, who's not neutral, with the Stardust Fall, and the entire team is set to 1. Honestly, you could probably hit any of these characters with the Stardust Fall, and the entire team is set to 1. And with Red Broly and Red Gogeta both being very dominant right now, it's really hard to just run transforming Goku Black as free as he was before. Obviously, he has the neutral on his second main, but second main, who cares, right? You're definitely going to want to activate Stardust Fall later, and if you just catch this guy once with Red Broly and you have one of your lock-ins, you just spam cards against that guy, and he's probably going to die. But this team can still be definitely effective. This team's main forte... actually, I guess we'll get into that with entry number 4 here. We'll actually go to that right now. So coming in at number 4 is going to be a powerful opponents again. Instead, this is going to be with Red Broly. I was going to bring this up. So now we can talk about it since we just mentioned it last time. The main forte, the main difference between both these teams is now this is a beatdown team, whereas the other one was definitely more sustainable. You could definitely live longer. You had better disrupt, better access to disrupt on that team. This one, you are going to beat down the opponent as fast as you can. Just transform with Red Broly and you bulldoze. You just snowball with him. Obviously, Yellow Goku Black is here. So it's kind of putting you at an innate disadvantage if you're going against another Gogeta or Broly. But I think he can, at least mine, doesn't seem to have any issues tanking. He is maxed out here. So maybe that's it. We do have the HP bench here. Zenkai Buffet Cooler and Dragon Fist. If you want, technically you could do something like... you could take this guy off and you could put Bojack for the double Zenkai buff on Broly. Or you could take him off, put Rose here. You could take him off, put Bardock here. There's a ton of people you could slot in for this. I guess for this team, you could even slot in this guy. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. Actually, no, he doesn't buff Mewtwo's. My bad. You could definitely slot in this guy. That's what it was. So there's definitely tons of options, but I think Dragon Fist's Z ability is so strong. You kind of just don't want to go without it, especially for this team. You're going to be giving 38% to Strike and Blast, and then another 40% to both, so 78% to double offenses, plus 3% for Strike Arts damage inflicted. It's not even close. And then Cooler on the bench as well is giving something similar here, where he's giving 38% to double offenses, and then 40% to Strike Attack, so there's just so much Strike Attack, so much base stats going on here. And then obviously the reason you're running Red Broly is thanks to his unique equipment, which this thing is pretty damn good. He goes neutral uncancelably since it's on an equipment for 15 counts on transformation. That is why even with Blue Goku Black, it is tough to run. It is tough to run that previous team, simply because of that. And then also as well, on his unique age charges 50% faster, and a bunch of other things. I think the main attraction with this equip is this right here. This right here is a very, very strong equip. Ignore the pure defenses down there. 15% pure offense is 12% base health. I mean, it's too strong to pass up. And then you obviously have this, which honestly, I put the wrong equip on here. I kind of forgot that. Sorry. you're going to want to run, where is it? This instead, because it gives them 20% damage anyways. So you're definitely going to want to run that. I probably put that on for all the teams. I was kind of just throwing in placeholder equips. I guess we could talk about equips. So this one, you don't actually get the pure offenses here for Goku Black, but I mean 20% special move damage and 10% health restore. It's just too good to pass up. You obviously have his unique, which is going to give you all the stats you need. And then I'm throwing him with this because he's getting health and health restoration from it, and then double pure offenses as well. So you kind of make up for what you lose earlier. If you do not want to use this equip, he does qualify for other equips such as this. Which gives Pure Strike, health restoration, special move ults, all that good stuff. I have seen people run this, which honestly isn't bad. It's 40% base strike attack, and then special move, ultimate damage, and health restore, so it's not bad. But I just think you're getting so much base stats from here anyways that doesn't matter. If you are... What do I want to say? You could technically use this. He gets the pure strike and base strike from here. He gets the base blast and then the base strike and critical. So there are a ton of things you can do with this team, but I think this is probably the best the setup's gonna get. Again, I think this team is probably, since it's more wanting to go on the offense, I think this team is probably more susceptible to Gogeta than the other team. Again, you catch Broly with Stardust Fall. Broly is definitely a glass can, at least for me. He's 9-star. He doesn't tank the best. He can eat hits, at least. He can definitely eat hits, but you don't want this guy taking the Stardust Fall. You definitely want it to be green Broly. And if he catches red Broly with Stardust Fall, I don't even drop the combo at that point. I just let it fly, and it most of the time does kill Broly there. Red Broly, at least. But yeah, I think this team can definitely still be effective. This team is definitely very dangerous. You have long range green, you have you have 2 melee based greens. You have a lot of cover null uptime on this team, thanks to this guy's unique gauge, which is, where is it? I don't think it actually, yeah, right here. 15 counts of no special cover changing. That does not, with the new update, that does not counteract any character's just base cover null here. So Broly gets cover null 5 counts on entry. That does not conflict with Goku Black's buff, so it doesn't wipe it away or anything. So you could not have cover null on this character. After this guy's gauge procs, you swap into this guy. You essentially do have still 15 counts of cover null, which with this guy is definitely dangerous. You don't want this guy comboing you for a long time, so you want to get him out of there as soon as possible. Which is why I think Green Broly is so important to this team, because he's one of the characters that no matter what can stop a combo. Whether it be through sheer disrupt because he reduces 15 ki every time he's hit, or through the unique gauge, he is going to stop a combo. But yeah, I think this team can definitely still be effective. That was number 4, which was powerful opponents with Red Z Broly. Let's go ahead and head to the 3rd best team in the game. Alright, coming in at number 3 will be God Key. I really like this team. This team is very synergetic. I definitely think it did take a big hit with Red Broly, but I think I regard it as the best team in the game, and I still think it can definitely be effective. You can definitely use this team in push God Ring for sure. Obviously, this is actually the first team without Green Broly here, but it's the second team with both Goku Blacks being ran together again. Their synergy is almost unmatched. It's almost perfect. Kind of reminds me of Turles and Tree of Might Goku. But yeah, I think this team is definitely very good. This equip is wrong, by the way. That's why I pulled this up. You should be using this.
We'll end this now.
I originally had Broly here, but changed it. But yeah, let's. I guess I don't really have to explain Yellow Goku Black or Blue Goku Black. We've gone into thorough. Red Gogeta, the best character in the entire game. I did max him out, got a max arts boosted. I don't know if I did showcase on that, but maybe I should, but I don't think I need to. You know how this character works. Comes in, if he has his active gauge, your entire team is put to 1 HP. Yeah. Whew. If this guy has a defeated battle member when he activates the Stardust Fall, I don't think there's anyone living that. He goes neutral, and he gets 50% extra damage. And then the big thing about what you want to do with this character, Stardust Fall, is you want to spam out all 4 of your cards in your hand, drop the combo because that's 100% damage right there. And you just want to obliterate everything in your way, everything in your path. You just want to. You also want your unique age up because this gives another 50% damage. So you really want to, at least for me, I really try to get the perfect scenario. Unique age up, 4 cards out, drop the combo, kill somebody. But you don't have to. This thing does so much damage anyways that it's not a necessity to do that. That's just how you secure a kill if someone doesn't have a second life, like Red Broly. The good thing about this is that it doesn't nullify endurance, because if it did, I think he would be too far ahead of the game. He has very great disrupt. At least when he's first hit, he does. Where is it? Here. There it is. He destroys an enemy card, gives him 20 cost, reduces ally subcounts, and increases enemy subcounts. This would very good there. Other than that, very offensive character, which is why I think this team is different than either the Red Z Broly or the or not the Red Z Broly, but the Green Broly slotted in here. I think it's better than that team, simply because now you have your defensive, you have your designated defensive option with Yellow Goku Black, and then you have your 2 offensive juggernauts, which are Gogeta and Xenoverse Rose, which how do I want to say this? Gogeta is probably the best offensive character in the game, and I don't think it's particularly close. This guy does crazy damage, but with that being said, Xenoverse Rose is still one of the most offensively crippling units in the game. His unique gauge is ridiculous still. I don't know why they did this. Of course, it's not stacking damage or critical rate or draw speed that you're worried about. It's the fact that he guarantees a card when it becomes full on the 2nd level and the 3rd level, because on the 3rd level he draws that ultimate, it's guaranteed. And while you are on level 3 gauge or level 2, you are going neutral on both ult and the blue. And you have uncancelable damage. So he's definitely still offensively crippling. Not as much as Gogeta in my opinion, but this character can definitely still be perceived as him. But yeah, I don't think I need to explain this team too much. This team is basically just kill your opponent as fast as possible, do the most damage in the game, and you'll be fine. As for the bench, it is very hard to get Gogeta double Zenkai buffs here, right? Technically, you could put Bardock here. Where am I blind? There he is. Technically, you could put Bardock here. That does work. I personally wouldn't do this. I think a better bench is probably still Vegito Blue here. This guy. I think his Z ability is really great. Z plus Zenkai, because it's 78% to base strike attack for Goku Black there, Xenoverse Goku Black. So I choose to use him. You probably don't necessarily need an HP buffer on this specific setup, at least. So you technically probably could do something like this, or I think that's actually the only one that work. You could technically do Cooler, since he buffs powerful opponent and moves with his Z ability. It'll be Zenkai buffing Gogeta, but I don't know. I think we'll just stick like this because the extra HP is beautiful, in my opinion at least. So this was the 3rd best team in the game. Again, I think anything from 5 through 3 could be swapped in any order, and I wouldn't call you wrong. I just think this team is probably just a little bit better than the other 2, but that's my opinion on how I use these characters. So we'll go ahead and head to the 2nd best team in the game. All right, coming in at number 2. This is technically a shared spot, but I don't really view these teams as playing any different. There's going to be Red Red Green movies. I guess we'll talk about this iteration first. Green Broly is simply here to be a defensive wall. I don't count on this guy to do any damage, on at least on this specific setup. He still does great damage. Obviously he has access to this equip, which is going to make him do damage. And then you also have this, which is base health restoration, special move, and then pure defenses. And then he's also going to have this accessible to him. I really think I'd give him this for the pure strike defense and then the double base defenses. I don't really care about the blast attack here. Then the 10% of pure strike is just an added bonus there. Really good equip for him. But I really want to talk about what happens when you double Zenkai buff Gogeta and Red Z Broly at the same time. Those characters are unparalleled in terms of offense at that point. When they're double, you could even triple Zenkai buff them. With Red Bardock. You could throw this guy on the bench, triple Zenkai buff, and this is still equally as good as a team. It might actually be even just a little bit better because you can spew out more damage. But again, I like Dragon Fist's Z ability. It's really great for Broly, so I just throw him there. This team is meant to pummel your opponent, and Broly is simply here, at least in my opinion, for a defensive wall option. Just to make sure that any mistakes you should make, you can at least eat out with Broly, right? Now, there is another version of this team that does essentially use the same premise, just a different character. And I think you guys know, but that's going to be the variant with Blue 13. And then you'll just run this equip, and you can probably run this.
We'll end this now.
This team here should not be allowed. This damage here is absurd. And honestly, I don't even like Zenkai buffing 13. He's support guy. I only swap into him on offense or for the first disrupt. I don't really swap into him on defense too often. I usually let another character eat that. So you could literally just go with this and then just win the game, right? Triple Zenkai buffs, 13 support on the Stardust Fall on Broly. This is just disgusting. This team is disgusting. But I think equally as that, this team should be good. I do prefer the Broly setup way more than the 13 setup, but I don't think the 13 setup for this specific team is bad. I just like being able to cover Gogeta and Broly with, I guess, Legend Broly. Let me this, and where's that equip? I lost it. There you go.
We'll end this
I just think this team's a little bit better. Well, I don't think it's a little bit. I honestly just think this is the second best team in the game. Crazy damage output, good tanking from both Gogeta and Broly. Green Broly. Red Z Broly, again, I don't have him maxed out, so I can't speak definitively for his tanking, but he can eat some hits. He can't eat heavy hits, at least in my opinion. He takes a lot of damage from those. But yeah, I think this team is great. Not much to say about here. Again, it's just another one of the beat down teams. So I think we'll just go ahead and hop into the single best team in the game. All right, coming in at number 1, to surprise of everybody, is the Movie Saga team. I bet everyone is surprised, right? I mean, who would have thought a defensive character with 2 auto counters and a guard action with the best healing in the game, coupled with another character that heals and gives the best support in the game, coupled with the third character that also heals a decent amount and does the most damage in the game in a single attack, would be the best team in the game. Who would have thought that, right? So 13 plus Broly is not a legal team. This team is not a. This team is so good. I gotta put it down. This team is so good. The reason is simply because not Gogeta, but 13 and Broly guard Gogeta so well that he just feels so free on this setup. The way I use this team's disrupt is I let Broly's auto counters just go off. Whenever they want to pop them to stop their combo, I let them. Usually that takes about 60 counts. Most of the time I am just playing around it. And then only after that do I actually swap into 13 to get his disrupt off. So that's 3 combo enders right then and there. And then after that, you now have Broly fully built, he's fully tanked, he's ready to eat hits. When 13 swaps out back into Broly, Broly heals so much. Broly heals a ridiculous amount when he's fully transformed. Look at this, where is it? When he cover changes, if health is lower than 75%, he heals 15%. What? On battlefield entry, he's already healing 10? So that's 25% total. 13 heals on swap out by 10% as well. So what? That's 35% on a single switch, and if you're less than 75% HP, that's a ridiculous amount. Is that fair? Is that good? Um, yeah. So I don't really know how you could call any other team the best in the game. Broly's gonna be healing 20% almost every time he swaps in, unless you're not in 13 when you're taking hits. Gogeta's gonna swap in on offense and crush everybody because he's double Zenkai buffed. We have Dragon Fist on the bench. He's just going to activate Stardust Fall and he's going to kill anyone in the game. That's how this team works. I use this team. This team is very good. Know a lot of other people who use this team. They also say it's very good. Know someone else who thinks this is Precision. We talked about this. He as well thinks this is the best team in the game. And I guess we could go to PvP here. I'm not very high ranked anymore. I haven't been playing PvP too crazily. However, Precision himself, in case you needed, can the world ranking go? There we go. In case you needed any endorsement, Precision himself, the 7th best player in the world right now, is using the same exact team that I just described to you. Does that show how good this team is? We could just go through all these. I don't know how this guy's living. Oh, he's in Proud. So that's Proud. This is also Proud, but even on this one, you see the bottom 3 right there. Yeah. I believe this guy's also Proud. Yeah. So a lot of the top players, these are actually account sharers. I wouldn't really take them. This is Dean right here. This is Dean. And look at what team he's using. Dean, the second best player in the world based off the World Championships. I fought him quite a bit this season. This guy right here, I believe, is Proud. No, he's using the exact same team. Yeah. So this team is just everyone's using this team for a reason, and that reason is you don't lose with this team. It's very hard to lose with this team. Well, I won't say it's hard to lose because you obviously could lose with Amir, but it's hard to lose to any of the teams below with this team, right? If you encounter any of the teams below, you should honestly stomp them with this team. It's very hard to lose that. Obviously, you can lose any match, and that's fine. Everyone loses eventually. But yeah, those were my top 5 teams in the game. We could just go through it again. Number 5 was Double Goku Black with Broly. Number 4 was Yellow Goku Black with the 2 Brolys. Number 3 was Gogeta with the Double Goku Black. Number 2 was Red Green Movies, and you could slot 13 in for the green slot, and that'd be fine. And then this team that you're looking at here, Red, Green, Blue Movies, is the best in the game. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if any teams that you guys are using. But until next time, be good, y'all.